Hi everyone, it's Mr. Manoog. Welcome to your fourth week of Math Online Learning. For today, we are going to do the following. I can identify opposite operators and I can solve one-step equations. Now I know this is probably review for most of you because one-step equations was covered in grade 7, but I would like to go through again before we move on to two-step equations. Now, before we start, I just want to ask you a few questions. What does the word opposite mean to you? Like if I say, what is the opposite of going down? Well, the opposite is going up. What's the opposite of left? Well, the opposite is right. So if we go back to math, what is the opposite for addition? What's the opposite for addition? Now I know most of you would say, Mr. Manoog, the opposite of addition is subtraction. Okay? Well done. And the same thing, vice versa. The opposite of subtraction is addition. And then how about this one? What is the opposite of multiplication? Well, the opposite of multiplication is division, right? And vice versa, the opposite for division is multiplication. Very simple. Okay. Now, why do we need to know this? Because it will help us when we solve one-step or two-step equations. So if you look over here right now, we are in our grade 8 Google Classroom, and as always, please go to classwork. Okay. Now, this is what you will see on April 20th. Including this video, and we will also include a link and just an exercise for you to practice. So if you see over here, I really like to go to this website. Most of my grade 8 students have seen this already, but again, it's a very nice review. So for today, let's just do one-step equations. So if you look at the model, you can see that this is a balanced beam, and a balanced beam, again, we need to make sure that they do not teeter-totter, right? Like they need to make sure that they're balanced. And we have to remember that for a balanced beam, the left side must equal the right side, okay? So just like an equation, the left side must equal the right side, okay? So let's just read this equation together. X plus negative 5 equals negative 1. So my left side is x, my left side is also negative 5, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my right side is negative 1. Okay? They're balanced. Now, this is the word that we need to be familiar with, isolate. Okay? And we have seen this in our volume lesson. Isolate, meaning the x has to be by itself. So, how do I get rid of negative 5? This is when our opposite operators come in, isn't it? So you're going to ask yourself, Mr. Manoog, the opposite of negative is positive. So to get rid of negative 5, we need to add 5, right? And whatever we do on the left, we have to do to the right. Okay, this one goes away. So x equals negative 1 plus 5, if you remember your integers, should be 4. And let's see if we're correct. So we need to add 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. See? Can you see that whatever you're adding on the left, the same applies for the right side. So what is x? X equals 4. Okay? Now we will do this for the next maybe 3 more questions, okay? Let me just erase this off. Alright, let's look at the next question together. Now the next question says x plus negative 3 equals 4. So again, the left side must equal the right side. So x, negative 3, and 4. We're balanced. The next thing, we need to isolate the x tiles. So how do we get rid of negative 3? So again, the same rules apply again. how do I get rid, what's the opposite of negative? Positive. So, what should I do now? To get rid of negative 3, I have to add 3. Whatever I do on the left, I do to the right. And we know that x equals 7. Let's see if we're correct. Okay? So, positive 1, positive 2, positive 3. Right? So what's my answer? X equals 7. Okay? So let's try another one. I hope all of you are understanding this so far. Alright, let's look at the next one. Let's do another one because it's pretty much the same idea. Okay, how about this one? X plus 4 equals 3. Okay? So, left side equals the right side. X plus 4 equals 3. Now we're balanced. Now you have to ask yourself, how do I get rid of positive 4? Well, you do the opposite. The opposite of positive is negative. So, negative 4 on both sides. This one goes away. X equals negative 1. So let's see if we are correct using our models. Okay, so how do I get rid of positive 4? I need to subtract 4. See that? So what is left on both sides? Well, x equals negative 1. Okay? Alright, let's try this last one, and then we will do multiplication and addition and division. Okay? So let's try this question. X plus 2 equals negative 2. So same thing again, the left side equals the right side. X plus 2 equals negative 2. We're balanced. You're going to ask yourself, how do I get rid of positive 2? How do I isolate x by itself? Well, you have to subtract 2 on both sides. Okay? This one goes away. X equals negative 4. Okay? Let's see if we're correct. So, the opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. So, negative 1 and negative 2. There you go. So, x equals negative 4. It's very simple. Okay? Now, so far, our examples are just addition and subtraction. But what happens if it's multiplication or division? So I'm just going to show it to you right now. Just give me a second over here. Alright. So let's see this one. If I say 3x equals 6, right? And you know that these two are multiplying, so what is the opposite? You have to divide. So, divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 2. Does that make sense? Okay. So, how would I draw this on a balance scale? So, let's see this. This is x. So this is x, x, and x, which means this whole thing is 3x, and this is positive 6, isn't it? So positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, what does that mean then? You can tell that, Mr. Manug, x equals 2. That's my answer. Very easy. So we'll try one more. We'll try one more over here. If I say 4m equals 12, how do you find m? Again, we are multiplying, so the opposite is division. So we have to divide by 4 on both sides. So 12 divided by 4 gets me 3. So if you draw this on a balance scale, this is 1m, 2m, 3m, 4m. Okay? This is 4m on the left side, and my right side is 12. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And look at that. The dots are evenly spread out, eh? So we know that m equals 3. Okay? So that one is multiplication. We are going to do division right away. So let's look at division. So an example would be this. Division would say x divided by 2 equals 3. Okay? You know that this is the division sign, so you're going to ask yourself, what is the opposite of division? Multiplication. So whatever I do on the left, I have to do to the right. X equals 6. Okay? And how do I draw this, Mr. Manu? So, you know how a full bar is x? What do you think half of an x is? It's going to look something like this, isn't it? Right? So I'm going to draw this. So you're going to ask yourself, Mr. Manu, if 3 dots or 3 circles belong to half of them, then a full bar would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because each of this part contains 3 of the circles, right? So this is 3, this is also 3, right? So that way this is 6. Let's do one more. If I say m divided by 4 equals 2, let's say. It's very simple. All you have to do is this. I'm just going to break my m into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many do I shade? I just shade one part. And we know that 2 circles is in this rectangle, in this 1/4. So there are 2 in each of them. So a full one will have to be 2, 4, 6, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So how would I solve this? If you know that my what's happening right now is division, then my opposite will be multiplication. I'm going to multiply by 4. Whatever I do on the left, I do to the right. M equals 8. Okay? So, alright. That's our lesson for today. So if you look in your individual Google Classroom, let's say, this is your assignment for this week. Make sure you try them. Yeah, see, we have done this already. Just make sure that if it's a negative, we won't shade them. Okay? Try this one out and let us know how it is. Also, if you need more practice, okay, again, please go to classwork. Try here, equations level 1. There's just so many that you guys can practice on. Okay? So, I hope all of you have a great day, and yeah, take care.